For the sky, boy.
Conductor, we have a problem.
What is going on, you reactionary marktards and you hustlers out there? It's your man, A-Track Brown. The Vince McMahon documentary continues again. All right, episode 5, family business. I'm almost done with this. One more episode to go after this, and we'll talk about it, all right? But for now, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button, donate to the channel, donate to the Cash App. Follow me on Twitter at A-Track Brown, the number ATRAC Brown. Do not forget, the PWHustle is on TikTok, so follow us at PWHustle on TikTok. If you're on Facebook, join the Hustle fandom group, okay? Links will be in the description and in the comment section below. Let's get to this because I want to finish this shit. All right, here we go. Family business.
The Shakespearean tragedy of this tale is that the great success that has been enjoyed by Vincent Kennedy McMahon was driven by the overcompensatory behavior, rebelling against the first miserable 12 years of his life. And escaping that abuse has been his life pursuit in creating an atmosphere in which he is untouchable and invulnerable to outside forces. And
Paul Heyman is great.
Of his own destiny.
Paul can talk shit like a motherfucker. Yo, he's just great at this.
They talked about the physical abuse that he suffered at the hands of his stepfather and alluded to sexual abuse that he implied was at the hands of his mother.
Really? Yeah, I remember that, actually. I remember him talking about that. Was that his mother that he was rolling out there?
I know from a psychological standpoint, when you're abused as a kid, the tendency is for you to abuse. I think sometimes that's just a cop-out.
It doesn't seem that way. Not with the shit your ass was doing. It's very possible that these abuse allegations could be a lie from Vince, but we ain't gonna go there. I mean, Vince being abused, that could be a lie, but I don't see too many people lying about that, so. Oh, this is gonna be about the kids. Oh, yeah.
I'm fascinated to know, what was it like growing up as a McMahon?
You want to start? Go for it.
This is some sick shit already. Ain't even start talking.
I started at a very early age. I remember being in the audience, I remember being backstage, was all over the place.
I remember when he first brought Shane in as a commentator. Shane was great. He'd be like, hey, that's my pop. Hey, pop. When he was a commentator on Sunday Night Heat, he was freaking hilarious.
You know, if my dad pissed somebody off, you couldn't get to the boss right away. You have to go through different layers.
The Mean Street Posse.
Having fun, and we just ran with it.
Shane was a really great character, yo. When he actually started wrestling, I mean, he was a stuntman for what he did, but he was, you had to give him props.
I have always wanted to be a part of this company, and I'm so proud to be today.
Growing up, it was larger than life, and I could feel that as a kid.
Oh, I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could feel all the macho shit.
Some people would love me just because of who my father was.
Damn, she was like
and
11
some
from
people
freaking
would
Stranger
not give
Things
it
when she was
time of
younger.
Day. A decision was made in a very short period of time. To give
What
it a
the
chance.
hell was that picture behind it? Was that supposed to be Vince?
When Steph started to work with us, it escalated incredibly fast.
There was a story.
They could sacrifice his own daughter.
Getting married to a talent named Test.
This nigga drugged her, married her, pretty much raped her.
Bachelorette party, and I make either drink. And then I end up getting married to her, like at one of those drive-through things in Vegas. He's like, man, I love that.
Oh my God!
It's not a question of if, but how many times.
Consummate the marriage! My God, I cannot believe that.
The first time.
It was so stupid. Like, this nigga drugged and raped her, bro.
So Steph became this great heel. You know, I mean, she was willing to do anything.
I remember that. I was like, damn, she got some small boobs, and next thing you know, she got implants.
It was a different time in our business.
Of all the crazy stuff.
She wasn't bad at what she did, really. She wasn't too bad at it.
As a fan,
after she grew into the role.
The family part of it would probably be the crazy.
But this nigga definitely knew what he was doing when he started fucking with her behind the scenes. He knew what he was doing. I mean, he was already a producer, but he knew the score.
And then my brother would say, not Triple H. And my dad would go, oh yeah, no, of course, not Triple H. But, you know, a guy just like him.
Shane was very much against it.
I would have been too.
You guys make me sick. Hey, brothers,
because he saw what happened.
You know,
he knew the deal. He saw what was going on. He saw what Triple H was doing.
You're gonna let your daughter date a wrestler? Shane, that's who I am. I'm wrestling, I'm performing. I don't know what you mean by that.
I really thought he'd be fired once they found that out. That's funny. I thought Triple H was gonna be finished.
So what if Stephanie and Paul's wedding was live on pay-per-view? Wow, people would buy that. It'd be awesome. It'd be great. And Steph said, no.
Says absolutely not. He's like selfish and like I can't believe it.
He said selfish. This nigga's crazy.
And I believe a street fight 6 days before our legitimate wedding.
Wow. Wow, this nigga is sick.
That if I had a black eye or a broken ankle for my wedding, that she would divorce him on the spot. Needless to say, I had no black eye. I had no broken ankle. I may have gotten choked out in the match, but that's a little bit different.
This nigga's this man's an idiot, bro.
She was definitely a big part of all of this.
Linda McMahon!
Linda was very important in the company.
I hated the fact that they gave her that damn WrestleMania music. That was so stupid. Like, gave her an actual song.
As a fan growing up, I was heavily into when Cyndi Lauper came and she was with Wendy Rector. I mean, that was something I was like, oh my God, seeing a female in the ring at that point at my age was very cool to me. But when I first started in 2000, the female role was overtly sexual, I would say.
I was never really like I always thought Trish had like a face like a Klingon. Had those boobs though. She still has a dynamite body. But I was never attracted to her face.
I don't think the storyline was actually pitched like, so what's gonna happen is you're gonna be Vince's mistress.
I've been very bad, Vince. I deserve a spanking.
And then you're gonna eventually
You did double up Linda's dosage, did you not?
Double up Linda's dosage!
She was in on it, you know, we were all in on it. There was a scene where I lean over and I kiss Linda. And that came from Linda. Like, she's like, oh, it would irk so many people if you would just like lean over and kiss me on the head.
And it did. They were right about that. They knew their audience at the time. This nigga took the flowers. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was very entertaining at the time. You look at this shit and you laugh at it so hard because of what this nigga was doing and how this dude is.
It never fails. It will always be like, so there was this time, and I'm like, when you got on all four and you bark like a dog.
A big dog.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hop up on one leg. Make a noise like an orangutan.
I used to have a female dog, and that bitch did everything I told her to do. Now, damn it, get out!
It was horrible. exactly the feeling we wanted you to feel. Don't you get it?
If you're really, really sorry, Trish, take your clothes.
This thing is a fucking nutcase. Oh shit.
And one corner was my girlfriend, Trish, storyline. And
Storyline my ass. See how you said it too, right? Storyline. No, it wasn't, nigga. Y'all was fucking.
One time, my dad grabbed like all my rib meat. You know, he went in there on the skin and everything else. And then I went, oh, and then as I peeled back, he grabbed my hair on the back end and then pushed me back. And I was like, you totally cheated. I go, you can't do that. He goes, that's what I do in life. I cheat and I win.
I lie, I cheat, I steal. I lie, I cheat, I steal. Thus, Eddie Guerrero. Latino Heat.
Linda slowly stood up.
Right into the McMahon family jewels. That was a fun thing to see. Oh, he did the Van Terminator. And I'm like, he's ripping off Rob Van Dam. He's ripping off Rob Van Dam, and he almost killed himself.
These are real life McMahons. And you build up the tension. You build up these characters.
I remember in New York City, they had the McMahon's poster, like the Sopranos. I always wanted to take that shit from the train and hang it up because it was such a cool picture.
Sable is probably one of the, as far as pure successes in marketing for a short period of time, she's one of the more underrated characters they ever had. I mean,
Never
she
found
was
her
a
attractive.
absolute
Like I said
red
before.
straw. Sable would get on the air and 500,000 people.
Flat ass booty. Ugh.
But she left at the peak of her popularity and sued the company.
In this corner, former World Wrestling Federation Women's Champion
I remember
Sable.
this.
For opponent, Vince McMahon.
I don't think I asked her to do anything that was degrading at all.
To another lawsuit. Who was Sable and how did she...
How the fuck does he have the nerve to say this stuff, bro?
No, I don't. It's kind of a blur, but all I know is she came back to work, so.
Stephanie McMahon, I want you to...
You know what? I'm actually on his side with that one. I'm on his side with that.
Body make you forget
because she came
that
back.
Sable sued our company for millions of dollars.
And he wanted to let her know. Yup, he wanted to let her know. You sued us and here you are, right back here. See, it's shit like that that makes people think the women who are throwing accusations at him are lying. This is why people think Janelle Grant is lying. And I'm not, you can't get mad at them for thinking that. You can't. You can have a discourse, but you can't really get mad. It's not victim blaming or anything like that. It's just historic nature of how some of these people are.
Vince McMahon has had one truly monogamous relationship in his entire life, and that's with the business that he built. That's his passion.
Well, he started the XFL in the WBF, so he kind of cheated on that business too. See, Paul Lee is not praising Vince. Paul Lee is giving his in-depth, honest opinion and analysis on Vince. So there you go.
It would be easy for someone to say, wow, look at Eric, he went from being really successful and he let that success get to his head. I understand why someone would say that, but it's also someone who has no idea what was really going on behind the scenes.
What was going on was you was not a wrestling dude, period. It's just you weren't that. You were a TV guy. And you didn't know what the fuck you were doing at the time. You just got really lucky. I don't care what he says or how he explains it or what anyone says. That's as clear as day in layman's terms what happened. He was learning on the job, bro. That's what he was doing, and he just got lucky.
I often think about Ted Turner, and he said, yeah, when it comes to competition, I'm going to squish him like a bug.
Psych, nigga, you thought.
Vince bought the company for $2.5 million, which he probably recouped 1 million times over. It was frickin' buying Manhattan for $24.
Pretty much. Pennies on the dollar.
Here I am on WCW television. How can that happen?
I gave him all the props in the world. I was a WCW guy, but I was like, yo, you did it, bro. I can't say shit. Me and Billy Ray were talking about this over the phone. And I was just like, bro, he's that dude. I can't say nothing. He did it. He did it. There's only one way to be a billionaire, and that's to become one yourself. That line stuck in my head forever. But I never became a billionaire. I just became trans wealthy. I identify as rich.
From a sold-out stadium in Las Vegas, week 1 of the XFL.
Oh boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the XFL.
Yo, it's crazy. He came up with a lot of cool ideas, right? They mentioned that with the mics and the camera angles and stuff like that. And the NFL ripped a lot of that shit off. He had Jesse Ventura doing commentary.
City Seekers made the first night of the XFL a success, with a TV rating more than double what advertisers were told to expect.
The NFL really thought these niggas was going to be competition. Tommy Maddox won a championship in the XFL and in the NFL. The only quarterback to ever do that. And he was a Steeler. Let's go, Steelers!
I thought it was just head-bangingly stupid and crude.
I didn't even know he was doing shit like that. He was fucking up cameramen?
People think I'm a little buttoned up about these things, but everything has its place. If there's some wit surrounding it, if there's some element of art or cleverness or high craft surrounding it, then I don't give a fuck, okay? I don't give a fuck. But
first time I ever heard him curse.
Of that.
NBC executives responsible for creating the XFL will be thrown to their deaths.
XFL ratings are down 75% from week 1.
I said to Vince in the green room beforehand, there are going to be some tough questions here. I think they'll be fair, but they'll be tough.
Oh, this is when he went off
He
on
said,
this
"Fine."
nigga.
I thought it was going to go on and talk about the XFL and be friendly. And I was told that's what it was going to be. Costa started baiting me.
The pregame show, especially week 1,
We don't have any
was one of the
pregame
most mindless things I've ever seen.
Bob did his job. He did it well. He got me.
He got me.
I find myself getting closer and closer. I can feel my hands like just visualizing what would it be if I had my hands.
I thought he was going to beat this nigga's ass.
You don't know what you're talking about. Would you let me finish?
Absolutely.
What I'm going to say there, pal, okay? With a big smile.
This is amusing me.
No, it's amusing you. You're amusing me.
Okay,
I was angry at myself, too, because I was set up and I should have seen it coming, and I didn't, like an idiot.
I ain't gonna lie, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the XFL for the ideas that they had. Like I said, the running for the ball instead of the kickoff. I thought that was a pretty cool idea. Letting the guys have their own names in the back, thought that was a cool idea too. But I don't know what made him think that shit was gonna be a success. I would have known that wasn't gonna be a success. I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. And another thing that was stupid was he was selling the jerseys, but he wasn't selling the jerseys with the dude's names on it, which I'm pretty sure was a money thing. If he would, I wanted a He Hate Me jersey. I wanted a He Hate Me Too jersey. He should have been selling them shits. Oh yeah, I remember this. This is when they said, "Get the F out."
Today by the World Wildlife Fund.
When this lawsuit was filed, we tried to fight it, as we do most lawsuits. And it looked like, wait a minute, we're not going to win this thing. They had, in fact, used the initials WWF long before we did. So it changed from WWF to WBE because we were entertainment.
Allow me to introduce you to the new general manager of Raw, Eric Bischoff.
I kept telling people the fact that he brought Eric Bischoff didn't surprise me. He didn't have an issue with Eric Bischoff. Bischoff was doing his job. Bischoff would have did the same thing if he was working for Vince, and Vince told him crush him. Vince had nothing against. Nah, he didn't have anything personal against Eric. It was Ted Turner that was the issue. But he would have did business with Ted Turner too. I still don't understand how this dude came back.
Well, there's one thing I've learned from the Montreal screw job. There's nothing sweeter than a good double cross.
I'm in business. And business comes first.
Steve, lay it all on the line here. Give us the bottom line.
Bottom line is everything sucks. I'm not happy with the direction Stone Cold Steve Austin's going. I ain't happy with the direction the whole company's going.
Things were not good at that point for Vince and I, but I also had a lot of injuries.
He wanted him to do the
When I decided
job to
I've
Brock,
had
and he
about
walked
enough,
out.
Probably being the best of my interest to ride off into the sunset.
The Rock, him and Austin were probably 1 and 1A
As far as being the top names in the company, both of them were gone by 2004. And so now it's time to make new stars.
Yep. Here comes John Cena's
So there was
corny
an
ass.
infamous promo where Vince was addressing the Raw roster.
More than any one quality that makes me the successful man that I am, I would have to say that one quality is...
Ruthless aggression!
And he's a ruthless aggression.
Ruthless aggression.
The ruthless aggression era. The very worst era. Oh, God, this... He chose this dude as a top guy. Like, how the hell did you expect people to make that adjustment, bro? Like, really?
I was just at a television taping where The Undertaker couldn't make it.
Come on, guys. There's got to be somebody back there that
They
wants
chose
to seize the
John
moment.
Cena over this dude.
And one person in the production meeting was like, how about John Cena?
Ruthless aggression.
So that kind of spawned the next few years or so, and became, after the fact, known as the Ruthless.
And he never changed! He still wrestled like crap!
I had to be John Cena, and I really didn't know who I was. And I didn't have personality. I just kept being this guy. It was just uninteresting.
Then he says, oh, I know. I'll start acting black.
Show Vinnie Mac that I got ruthless aggression.
John had the ability to rap. Fingo, instead of being someone that you might...
You had R-Truth. He was rapping. Why didn't you push him?
John, this is different. This is very different.
This was blackface without the makeup. I stopped watching around this time. I was like, I can't. I mean, I didn't stop, but I stopped keeping up like I used to. I'm dead ass. I was like, I cannot with this dude. This is not real life. It wasn't real life, but I'm like, this is not the wrestling that I wanted to see. I hate this dude.
You become popular, and the audience understands you and reacts to you.
Sucks. I can't stand the way y'all overrate his matches. I can't stand the way y'all overrate his mic skills. I can't stand the way y'all overrate his feuds. Yo, I can't stand this nigga. I hate this nigga. I hate the way that he walks, the way that he dresses, the way that he talks, the way that he freaking tries to diss, the way that he freestyles. I hate the way that he talks on the mic. I can't stand him.
Do you remember some of the things you said no to?
The incest angle?
Yes. Yeah, there were a couple, but yeah, I'm not going to tell the one.
So one of my storyline ideas was that Stephanie gets pregnant. And I think I was the one who impregnated her, my character.
Oh! What the fuck what is wrong with this dude? Is he serious? Yo! I always thought that was supposed to be Shane. It was going to be him?
When Shane and Stephanie were pitching ideas, he'd flat out reject them. He'd flat out say they sucked. He wants to hold them to a higher standard.
Would you say your dad was tough on you?
He has principles on that.
My dad was definitely
I
tough on
give
me,
him props on that.
Still is to this day.
He didn't hand them shit.
Always a higher standard. You know, I represent him.
I think all their children are genetically modified, though. It ain't no accident Stephanie had 3 girls and Shane had 3 boys. What the hell? Who has that? Genetically modified children. I'm gonna have my people look into that.
Shane absolutely wanted to be the next McMahon, and he always figured he would be. At one point, he wanted his dad to buy him a company that he could run and prove that he was the next generation McMahon promoter before
the UFC?
he takes over WWE.
Yep, UFC. Should have listened to Shane. But then again, a lot of people would have stopped fucking with it because they would have thought the fights was set up. It wouldn't have worked.
Because our business model is you could create characters, much like Disney or someone else, and we can use them forever. As opposed to a boxer / UFC. Once you're beat, once you're hurt or something, your career's over.
This is the real deal. There's no acting involved. There's no way these guys could act this.
Actually, I don't think that was a bad pass on his part.
Oh, well, hindsight's always 20/20. It would have been an excellent investment.
10 years later or something, UFC was sold for a lot of money.
Yeah, but could Vince do what Dana did? And I don't think so.
Shane had an idea that he really believed in, and Vince totally disagreed with it. And Vince finally turned to Shane and he said, "Not while I'm alive." And Vince, who was eating something, took his knife and handed it to Shane. And he says, "Right there. Come on. Right there. If you want this so bad, stick the dagger right here. Because that's what you're gonna have to do to make that decision. And if you don't stick the dagger right here, then I'll know you're not man enough to do it. And I have to take that into consideration as well."
I would have stabbed my pops.
And if I don't get out of your way, be prepared to get rid of me the way I would have had to get rid of my father when he wasn't doing things my way at all.
Shane and Stephanie sent that email. Shane and Stephanie came together and they sent that email. They got rid of that nigga, bro. They did it. They whacked the old man, yo.
And I was just like, I can either stay in here and watch us implode, or it's time to step back. He's my dad. You know, I'm not gonna.
I think it bothers him that Triple H is running creative. I think that's just my opinion on it.
Over decades, McMahon turned the WWE into a billion-dollar entertainment juggernaut. But recent events indicate that leadership could be changing.
New bombshell allegations of sexual abuse.
I mean, this is damning. It's insane.
Are they gonna jettison Vince? I don't know.
The future of this company very much hangs in the balance.
This most recent scandal is going to shock everyone.
It damn sure. It didn't shock a lot of us, but it shocked most of us. In 1993, Rena Lesnar Sable settled her lawsuit against Titan Sports and WWE. All right, so that was family business. A few things in this one that I didn't know about. I didn't even skip this. I watched this all the way through. So there was a few things that I didn't know about, but mostly, again, a lot of things I didn't know about. That shit with Vince saying, "Stab me right here if you believe in this idea." Shane should have stabbed him. Oh man, Vince is this dude is I didn't know that he was the one that was gonna impregnate Stephanie. I always thought it was supposed to be Stephanie and Shane. That shit right there is awful. It's just awful, bro. And the ideas that this man was coming up with, again, Shane and Stephanie and Triple H probably. I think they all came together and say, "This is how we get rid of him." I think this was a business assassination, yo. Triple K, as racist as he is too. But in all seriousness, I really do think they came together and conspired to get his ass out of there, and I don't blame them if they did. I don't. So it's off to the last one, right? Which one was this? This was episode 5. Yep, episode 6. The finish. That's the last episode, and I'll get into that, and you guys hopefully will join me for that one too. All right, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button, donate to the channel, donate to the Cash App. Follow me on Twitter at @ATRACBrown, the number TRAC Brown. Do not forget the PWHustle is on TikTok at PWHustle, so give us a follow there. If you're on Facebook, join the Hustle fandom group. Okay, I'll see you guys for the next episode. Peace.